The world held its breath for Squid Game. We watched in horror and fascination as hundreds of desperate people fought for a prize that cost them their humanity. Then came the story of a detective, a man who walked into hell not for money, but for justice. But when you stare into the abyss, does the abyss stare back, or does it consume you whole? Today, we're asking the question, was the police officer of Squid Game Season 3 a genius or a psychopath? He had a name, but we'll call him the Shepherd, a detective haunted by the ghost of his own missing daughter, a ghost he believed was swallowed by the games. He didn't enter as a player, he infiltrated, replacing a guard, his mind a razor-sharp weapon in a world of brute force. And at first, he was a beacon of hope. We saw his genius in the Echo Chamber game, a horrifying game of sound and memory where one wrong note meant instant death. While others panicked, he remained calm. He wasn't just listening to the sounds, he was watching the game masters. He noticed a subtle pattern in their own movements, a tell, a rhythm that gave away the sequence. He didn't just survive, he cracked the code. He became a silent leader, guiding a small group of players through the symphony of death, his quiet signals saving lives. It was brilliant, it was heroic. Then came the story of the Traitor's Carousel, a game designed to break alliances. Each player was tied to another, and to move forward, one had to cut the other's rope, sending them plummeting. The Shepherd was paired with a young man who reminded him of his own son, but the front man knew a cop was in their midst. The pressure was on. Make a choice that a desperate player would make, not a hero. And he did it. He looked the young man in the eye, a single tear rolling down his cheek, and he cut the rope. We watched the light fade from the young man's eyes, and a piece of the Shepherd's soul seemed to die with him. He justified it, of course. He told himself it was necessary to stay in the game, to get closer to the truth, to find his daughter. He was one step closer to the front man, but he took that step on the body of an innocent. This is where the line begins to blur. A genius uses his mind to save people. A psychopath uses people to achieve his goals. Which was he? His supporters will say he was playing a long game, making calculated sacrifices for a greater good, that every life lost was a necessary casualty in a war against a monstrous system. They will point to the moment he finally confronted the front man, not with a gun, but with evidence, with the names of the powerful men behind the masks. But his detractors will see something else. They will see a man who became the monster he was trying to destroy. They will point to the gallery of grief, where he had to choose which eliminated player's family would be notified and which would be left in the dark, forever wondering. He made those choices with a chilling detachment, his face a mask of cold logic. He wasn't just playing the game, he was becoming the game. He used his knowledge of human desperation, his police training, to manipulate and break people, not just to survive, but to win. So what do we make of the Shepherd? The brilliant detective who outsmarted the most twisted minds in the world, or the broken man who sacrificed his own humanity for a vengeance that could never bring back what he lost? Was he a genius who walked through fire and came out the other side? Or a psychopath who let the fire consume him until he was nothing but ash and rage? The truth is, maybe he was both, and that's the most terrifying thought of all.